All right, y'all, I am back with another ARC book review, and this time it is The Nightmare Before Kissmass by Sara Raasch. All right, so in this book, we follow Cole, who is the prince and heir of Christmas, as well as Hex, who is the prince and heir of Halloween. Now, prior to the start of the main story, these two do have a little bit of a, let's just say, fiery interaction with each other. But then about a year or so goes by, and Cole's father, Santa, basically announces to everybody, including Cole, that he is going to become engaged to a young girl named Iris. And now Iris is one of the princesses of Easter. She is also one of Cole's really good friends. And Cole's younger brother, Chris, might possibly have some feelings for Iris. So there's a lot of complications in this surprise engagement announcement, let alone the fact that Cole has no romantic feelings for Iris, but is very protective of her. I will say I loved the interactions between Cole, Iris, and Chris. The banter between all of them, you could feel how much they all cared for each other, and how much they were willing to protect each other. So anyways, this surprise engagement happens. Well, Halloween is not very happy about this. So they send some delegates to Christmas, and Santa basically says, you know what? We'll open up a competition. Hex and Cole can, compete for Iris's hand in marriage, and that's where our story really picks up. So now this book, I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun to read. Like I said before, the banter between all the characters is amazing. I really loved Cole. I will say, like, in the beginning, Cole, he really is struggling with how Christmas has been going recently. He doesn't like the fact that Christmas is just all about plastic toys now, and it's commercialized. He really wants to go back to those grassroots of Christmas, where it was about bringing real joy, real everlasting joy to individuals. He starts looking at a lot of the more the histories and the traditions of, Christmas, and he starts to kind of bring those back. I loved watching Cole kind of grow in this book. I feel like in the beginning he was very, didn't want to, go into his spot as the heir to Christmas. He had nothing he wanted to do with it. Him and his father very clearly butt heads. Santa is not the best person in this. He is not as jolly as you would think, but I really loved watching Cole as the book kind of progressed, as he started to kind of realize he can make things his own way, and it's okay to do that, and it's okay to stand up, and just, I don't know, his growth throughout the entire book was amazing. I also loved Hex. Hex was just so incredibly sweet throughout the whole thing. You would think because he's the prince of Halloween, he'd be a little bit darker. He wasn't. He was just a sweet little cinnamon roll, honestly, in my opinion, who just really needed a hug through 90% of this book. The interactions between the two of them were amazing. The buildup of the romance was so well done. It was very organic. I loved the way these two interacted with each other. And I just, the way that their whole relationship and story kind of progressed throughout was just so freaking well done. Now, this book, I believe, is marketed as an enemies to lovers, and I think it's supposed to be an enemies to lovers between Cole and Hex. I will say I didn't really get that vibe. I would say more their parents are really the enemies. I feel like for Cole and Hex, it was more tentative kind of friends. We feel like we could probably be friends, but there seems to be a lot of other outside stuff just going on. Not sure if we could really be friends. So it's kind of a tentative friends / allies to an actual real friendship to lovers. I loved, like I said, I loved watching kind of their progression and how they each individually started kind of tearing down their own walls and becoming more open and comfortable with each other as the book went on. Like I also said, I loved Iris and I loved Chris in this book. I really enjoyed kind of seeing them in it and how they interact with not just Cole and Hex, but also each other. I think Chris is going to have his own book next, which I'm really excited about. I would love to see more of Chris. Chris is very much the overlooked son. You see that a lot in this book. He tries to not make it seem like this is something that bothers him, but it really bothers Cole throughout the book. So I'm really excited to see Chris kind of get his own book. So honestly, this book was amazing. It is perfect for this time of the year. We're getting into Halloween and Christmas. If you know me, my friends do know me. I am a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan. I watch it all the time, all year round. I even made my own wreath based on Nightmare Before Christmas, and I have Nightmare Before Christmas stuff all over. I also have a really good friend on here. We're both really obsessed with it, and we constantly send each other videos and memes based on it. She also got me a Zero plushie that my dog has taken as his own. But so as soon as I saw this book, and I knew it was going to kind of be a fun little spin-off on Nightmare Before Christmas, obviously with the name, I could not wait to get my hands on it. I did listen to the audiobook, so I will also kind of give a brief little review on the audiobook. It was amazing. The narrator, who I cannot remember the name of, I'm so sorry, I'm terrible at narrator names. He did an amazing job. He did such a good job of the different, interactions, putting the emotion into it. I know sometimes narrators can kind of struggle with the different emotions, but he did an amazing job. I absolutely cannot recommend the audiobook enough. And I honestly can't recommend this book enough. It was so much fun. It's definitely going to be a book I will probably read, honestly, every year around now. Like I said, this is the perfect time to be reading it. And again, I'm so excited to see more books in this little series, especially, like I said, Chris's book. So Nightmare Before Kissmass comes out on October 8th. I absolutely recommend getting it. The cover is so stinking cute. I love it. This is also a book that has sprayed edges. So if you're a fan of sprayed edges and you love to collect books that have them, this one has it. So like I said, it comes out on the 8th. Absolutely grab it. Read it. You're going to love it. It's fun. It's whimsical. It's banter. There is some seriousness into it. Very low angst, but some good spice as well.